Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Starkill Y2K, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Every Call of Duty comes with expectations and obviously community feedback, and with new innovation and a split fan base, it's difficult to get a consensus on how we feel about the game. And as the jetpack era was introduced, a lot of opinions were split. Some players, they started out with those games and that's all they really know, so naturally that's just kind of, they're reluctant to play the boots on the ground games, which we all grew up and we love. In case you're wondering, my first Call of Duty was Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and yes, I have to specify that now, because, it kind of makes my opinion relevant, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, I know every COD has set expectations, and everyone has their wish list, I guess, but that's great and all, but it's time to kind of throw that all out the window. Every year, Call of Duty has a cycle. An initial trailer releases and builds some hype. Eventually, the game releases and begins its honeymoon phase. Everyone grinds the hell out of the game, racing for Prestige Master, and overall having a pretty good time. Then everything settles down, and that's when the content creators make or break the game. Now, that's all just because of their influence, and the community hops on the bandwagon and just does its thing. Now, we've seen this cycle year in and year out. Personally, I hated Black Ops 4, and I've always been on the biggest COD fanboy out there. But Black Ops 4 being terrible it's a good and bad thing. It set the bar pretty low, so naturally, the following Call of Duty should look way better, right? Yes, technically, but what if it came after one of the greater Call of Duties like Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 2? Would it still be held in the same regard? And I'm not trying to say that I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare is trash. In fact, initially, I liked it. But with that being said, I'm also skeptical. So many COD fans, they buy the Call of Duty because of its title. The title COD carries some weight. We've all fallen into this trap and got burned too many times. I myself did this with Infinite Warfare when I bought the Legacy Pro Edition, and I barely put a day into the game. Easily the worst $120 I wasted. I've learned my lesson, and thankfully I didn't buy the Black Ops Pass. Can I get a rip for the homies who did? Black Ops 4 to me, it didn't feel like a traditional Call of Duty. That's just how I feel. I'm a huge fan of the original style of Call of Duties. This year, I think it's important that we go into this game without influence expectations outside of its core mechanics, I guess, that are true to Call of Duty. Call of Duty is guilty every year just falling into the habit of fixing things that aren't broken. Call of Duty tries to innovate every year, and last year we saw that. I think they took it too far. It kind of turned away from the core of Call of Duty with the manual healing, the extra health, which really, when it comes down to it, extra health is not a big deal, but only if you tune the gun so that way it's still 3-4 shot kill for an assault rifle. That's just how I see it. But they took it too far, and it negatively affected the game, and that's why I don't think the community received it that well. Or personally, I did. I still know a lot of people that did like the game. That's good for them, but it wasn't my bag of tea. This year, we have to kind of isolate our view on Call of Duty Modern Warfare because it'll easily blow Black Ops 4 out of the water. And having high expectations for this year's COD is okay, but if this year's Call of Duty is trash, it's gonna be hard to dig it out of the hole. It's just be burying itself and putting a nail in the coffin. The series is gonna be pretty much done. But it's only fair to assume that microtransactions are gonna be in the game. Believing otherwise, it's pretty ignorant. We can only hope that they're not gonna be aggressive and that it's a pretty fair and decent system. But I don't want them to front that, make it seem like there's not going to be supply drops in the game, kind of like they did with Black Ops 4. They should just release it from the beginning, even though investors might not invest as heavily. Thankfully, the game is boots on the ground. And initially, I'm impressed with the graphics and gameplay, despite it being in its alpha stage. Of course, many things are subject to change when it comes to gameplay. I've never rode the community bandwagon for the most part. I really like COD Ghost and Advanced Warfare for that matter. I like some of the jetpack games. Black Ops 3 was one of my favorites for sure. And of course, I like the boots on the ground games, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, all the popular, of course, those are all great games. But having this faster time to kill is great compared to Black Ops 4. You couldn't get a double kill to save your life. I prefer that because gunfights are more reaction based rather than having to rely on your aim, just staying on target, I guess. But everyone has their own opinion. You're entitled to that, I guess, if you have played Call of Duty long enough. I think, that's pretty fair. But with the community being so split, it's hard to release a game and please everyone. You have people saying, COD's the same every year, and then on the other hand, you have other people saying COD's not the same anymore. So the jetpack era split up the fan base, and like I said earlier in the video, everyone has a different opinion. So this year, try not to hop on the bandwagon and know what you want in your Call of Duty, what you have, I guess, for your wish list and what you pretty much your expectations. I mean, with that being said, I'm pretty glad to have a campaign back. I mean, if we pay $60 at the very least, because there are different versions or editions of the game it'll be, I mean, at the very least, we're going to be forking out $60 for a AAA game. You know, it's only fair to expect a campaign and then multiplayer with replayability. And so far, the interface of the game looks pretty good. I mean, the loading screens are cinematic and the lobby looks great as well. So when you fork out money for a AAA game, you want it to look like they took their time. And I mean, they did have 3 years to make it, but I mean, shit, so did Black Ops 4. It looks like they took, their lobby screen like 2 days to make. Modern Warfare looks pretty good for being in its alpha stage, and I mean, there's some good things going for it. I mean, having only seen, what, like an hour of gameplay from the 2v2s. So I might release a video on talking about the Call of Duty's pros and cons so far of just what we've seen, just our first impression, just kind of lists like that. But having said all that, it's totally fine to get caught up in the hype. I mean, I definitely know I will be, but hopefully they blow us away this year and just kind of revive Call of Duty. I mean, we all know it needs it, otherwise the series is just going to die after this. So just be sure to formulate your own opinion on the game and not follow the bandwagon. So let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section, and be sure to subscribe if you're new. Stay fresh, stay you, stay awesome, bros. Peace.